So good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the Reignite Live Rewind the Future campaign of webinar we are launching. Today we will cover the virtual reality and augmented reality Studio Simplified solution together with our partner from Zero Density in Turkey. So I see we have now 46 attendees joining and still growing. So we will wait 1 or 2 more minutes to start the broadcast. Thank you. So more people coming. I think we can slowly start the webinar. So thank you again for joining the Rewind the Future campaign. And today we will cover together with Zero Density a virtual reality and augmented reality Studio Simplified solution. Today we have 3 people, three presenters. Burak, Geyik from on the right. So from Izmir, Zero Density, is in charge of the technical development of Reality Studio from Zero Density. We also have Onur Gulenc from a business development manager at Zero Density, and myself based in Brussels. So I'm a solution specialist mainly covering the live camera, could be live studio camera and PTZ remote camera. On the right side of your GoToWebinar window, you can ask questions. We have some colleagues, organizers, which are monitoring the question. They will filter the question and ask them to Onur, Burak, or myself, depending on the topics. So the agenda for today, it's related to the virtual and augmented reality studio based on Zero Density engine. And we will first cover the simplified solution based on PTZ camera compared to traditional green key studio. We'll then have a short Q&A session and then move to the Zero Density company introduction and their different application on their platform. We did prepare a short 2-minute video to introduce the benefits of using Zero Density keying, shadows, and reproduction of immersive content. And then finally, we will close with a warranty and support slide, specifically on Sony product and Zero Density product, to end up with useful links. So you will see at the end, and then a final Q&A session before we close the webinar. So I will hand over immediately to Onur, who will introduce yourself to the difference between a virtual reality studio and an augmented reality studio.
Hello everyone, this is Onur. I'm responsible for business development at Zero Density. And thank you for having us, Christian. We are excited to be a part of this webinar and this collaboration with Sony. So yeah, our slide is about what is a virtual and augmented reality studio. So those are the 2 main use areas for the technology. For a virtual set or a virtual reality studio, we can define it as a talent or a presenter inside of a green or a blue studio, where we are providing real-time virtual graphics and we composite them inside of that virtual world. And the augmented reality is usually the conventional or practical setup with some augmented or virtual graphics on top of your conventional shot. So those two are the two main use cases for the technology. And I want to say a few things about the benefits, especially the virtual studio, because I believe there are some important topics there. So what are the benefits of a virtual set or a virtual studio? So firstly, it provides you the ability to enhance a limited space into an unlimited world. So you can literally create an entire world as your virtual design, and we can composite your talents and hosts and presenters inside of that virtual environment. And on top of that, it provides you the ability of visual storytelling. So in augmented reality or virtual reality, we are able to have animations, characters which are completely impossible in the virtual world, or which are too expensive in the virtual world. For example, like explosions, earthquakes, or some historical characters visiting the studio, maybe one character from 1000 years ago. So some of these things are completely possible to do in the real world or too expensive, and we are able to do this in a seamless way, in an immersive way with our technology. And the important thing about this kind of visual storytelling is the following: it creates an engagement in an emotional way with the viewers of our partners, these media companies and television channels or any production studios. And the third important topic is the scalability. So we are able to have countlessly many of different virtual designs and virtual sets in the same small green studio. So I personally know of clients who are having maybe 5 different virtual sets in the same day in the same green studio, or I know a client who are having more than a dozen of virtual set designs and they are utilizing the same green studio. So it is bringing a nice scalability to the end users too. And of course, complete automation possibilities. This is a pure software. And maybe this is important for nowadays with COVID-19 and the pandemic that we're experiencing, the remote production possibilities. So we are able to make hologram or teleportation interviews. So for example, your guest can be at a completely different city or a completely different country, and we can teleport them and composite them inside of your virtual world, and the host and the guests can have a real-time unscripted interview. And this is completely possible, and this is important, especially nowadays. And the final one, I think that is maybe the most important one, since this is a complete software technology, and so software is a living and evolving thing. It is always developing, so it is only getting better. I think this is the most important part. So when you maybe invest in a conventional studio, it is unfortunately only getting older during the years. But if we are talking about a software, it is constantly developing and constantly getting better. So the partners that we are utilizing, for example, Epic Games and their Unreal Engine, and the graphics level that we will have, for example, in a year, or the keying quality, which improved in the recent years, and how it will improve in the upcoming years, the compositing quality and all the other technology that surrounds the system, it is simply a good idea, a good investment for the near or mid-term future. So I can summarize the benefits of virtual and augmented studio like this.
Thank you very much, Onur. So in fact, we are getting more and more, the broadcast world is getting more and more closer to the gaming world. So thanks to Epic Games and Unreal Engine. To summarize what we are doing in the traditional studio, so customers are using traditional broadcast camera with the B4 mount lenses, 2.5 inch. So these are the typical broadcast quality camera and lenses. And today, all these metadata from the lens, zoom, focus, iris, and also the PTZ head has to be sent to the engine. So basically, we are using the Epic Games Unreal Engine, currently version 4, and as Onur said, there are evolution to version 5, and even more in the future to get the virtual world more and more real in the future. This is an example shot at Key Wall in Belgium, so it's a zero density partner, and also using Sony camera. And what we are proposing today, since a new firmware update available on our Sony PTZ camera, so with version 2.10, it allows now to send all these metadata from the lens, from the PTZ head, through a single network cable to the engine. So it's a very cost-effective virtual reality, augmented reality studio, not only for large green screen studio, but also for small studio. You can use it in radio studio with small public display, for example, to have augmented reality in a small environment. But also what it simplifies is the lens calibration, because these cameras are equipped with a fixed lens, so all the models are the same. So you just need less calibration, which is a time-consuming process. Also, the tracking device are built inside the camera, and you can combine this with a studio positioning. One of the benefits of the BRC-X1000 and 1000 is that they are using a 1-inch sensor. 1-inch sensor means a bigger size of sensor, bigger than 2/3 inch, but also an artistic depth of field. So better, a nicer view, more artistic view in the field. And also if you're using public display, less aliasing in the background. So basically, we are also improving the smoothness of the PTZ movement and the zoom movement by this new software. And of course, extremely simple to control and to connect everything to a single network cable. So the 3 cameras which have been upgraded last week to version 2.10 are the BRC-X400, H800 and X1000. All of them are using 4K sensor and can output HD or 4K output. So one of the main benefits of this camera is they are, of course, cost effective, but still providing the full painting control you will find on HDC studio camera. So any RCP, any MSU from Sony can control this camera seamlessly together with big studio camera. And of course, we are now supporting the 3D protocol for virtual reality. We did also improve the PTZ movement to 0.05 degree per second, or even down to 0.02 degree per second in extended mode. So this camera can have the smoothest PTZ movement on the market for the moment, but also on the zoom speed, we did reduce that to an extended range to slow down the maximum zoom speed. And again, last but not least, we can now start the focus immediately together with the PTZ movement together when you recall a preset. So we will hand over now to Burak from Zero Density. We will explain how Zero Density join forces with our engineer in Japan to develop the software control into the engine. Burak?
Yes, it is really exciting to work with Sony on this. Firstly, what happened was we liaised together and we supported Sony to develop the 3D so that we can make the integration smoothly with our reality product. It is also very exciting to start using these type of cameras more and more because of the situation we have in right now. The virtual production is getting more common than before. So when we have a camera like this, having an embedded tracking is a very important part, because it simplifies the setup process considerably. And when we have a camera like this, also tracking and lens data flows to our product over 3D seamlessly. Another good thing is when we do the pre-work with the Sony cameras, we include the lens calibration, because lens is also embedded in the camera. And when the customers get the software, it also includes the lens calibration. That also not just reduce the cost of lens calibration, but also having the pre-calibrated lens helps us go to production in a shorter time frame.
So we have a small, thank you, Burak. We have a small Q&A session. So Birim, did you receive some question from the audience?
Well, I think our viewer is saving the questions for a later time, so we can continue.
Okay, thank you. So we move on to the zero density company introduction made by Onur. Onur, up to you.
Sure, thanks again, Christian. So in the previous slide, we've talked about what is reality, what is a virtual set, and what is augmented reality. In this presentation, we will talk about the company, Zero Density, that provides this technology. Zero Density is a software company. It develops creative products for media and entertainment industry. So it was founded in 2014, and our currently main product, Reality Virtual Studio, was launched at NAB 2016. And since its launch in 2016, it became a hit, I would say. And currently we have installations at 34 countries with more than 100 clients. And one important thing, I believe, while considering this kind of a next-gen technology is it is being proven and battle tested, and the software and the technology has also been on air for more than 186,000 hours of content from worldwide by all the clients. And we can again say that since the launch of the product in 2016, Zero Density and Reality Virtual Studio have been the dominant choice in the industry for a next-gen virtual set. These are some of the clients that we currently have right now. So I will briefly summarize our product category. So first, the Reality Engine. Reality Engine is a very unique compositing system. It's a GPU-based, real-time node-based compositor. And in one sentence, I think we can describe it as it brings post-production level compositing into real time. It supports real-time 4K, UHD, SDI production pipelines, and HDR, of course. And Reality Keyer is the second, I would say, main product of this family. And it is again a very special, very unique keyer. It's a real-time image-based keyer. We are able to capture every strain of the talent hair, contact shadows, transparent objects. On top of that, it is also incredibly user-friendly and easy to use and operate type of keyer. It is a piece of software. You don't need any external hardware, and it is a part of Reality Engine. Reality Editor is our authoring tool. It is based on Unreal Editor. That is the tool that you design and create those virtual worlds that we will utilize during on-air production. And Reality Control is our control suite where we define our action triggers and animations that we are going to trigger in live production, and we can have real-time data like stock market data, social media data, weather data during our broadcast. So we can briefly summarize our product category, and the summation of those 4 products are resulting with Reality Virtual Studio product family. So Christian, I think unfortunately you're on mute.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. So thank you, Onur. So we move now to zero density video, when you will look and appreciate the real deep quality of the shadows of the keying provided by Reality Studio. I now move to the video and launching.
So before that, I also want to say one small thing, Christian. So this is a very brief video that we shot the other day, specifically for this webinar, because this is such a visual product that we want to show a little footage.
Okay, thank you.
Reality Engine is a GPU-based, real-time, node-based compositor. One special thing about Reality Engine is it makes compositing in 3D space. This is how the engine sees me inside of the virtual environment. Now let's focus on my hair and show the level of details that we can capture with Reality Keyer. We are able to capture every strain of the talent's hair with this technology. The cameraman is also able to shift focus between real and virtual object. Reality Engine also supports focal tracking. Reality Keyer is also able to handle transparent objects such as a glass of water. This provides a less restrictive green studio environment and a more realistic composited picture. Now let's focus on my shadows. We are able to capture the actual contact shadows of the talent inside of the green studio. This is important because it preserves the feeling that the talent is actually stepping on the ground.
Perfect. Well, really nice and impressive. We now move forward to the next slides, which are covering the warranty and prime support. So, next slide, yeah. So can you see my screen? I'm still on the video.
In the meantime, I can ask a question to Burak. We received a question asking that, can we control the Sony BRC cameras from Reality Engine software?
Burak?
Hi, that integration can be done because what Reality provides is the actions. We can use the actions as the presets to the cameras. And what we do is when we trigger an action, that can also be a specific camera's position, which is already recorded in one of the presets. So yes, that can be doable.
Yeah, in fact, everything is going through IP, and our BRC-X1000 X1000 camera have up to 100 preset memories, and they can be set in PTZ position only or together with the shading control, so that you can recall white balance, white shading together with the preset position. So thank you. But another question, Biring? Or shall I move to the?
Yeah, I don't want to cut you at the end.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So on the prime support side, on the Sony side, we do offer not 2 years warranty, but up to 3 years warranty if you register your camera within 16 days after purchase. And the contract is based on the Elite contract, and this contract can be extended up to 5 years via an optional extension license. And this provides you a contact to the help desk from Monday to Friday from 9 to 6 p.m. European time, and we collect the faulty unit at your site free of charge within the 2 working days. if the unit can't be repaired, we send you a backup unit to your location. And when the unit is repaired, we return the unit to your location if necessary. If not, you can keep the new backup unit. So all the logistic costs are covered, all the parts, all the labor are covered by the standard terms and conditions. And as I said, the replacement unit will be shipped on the next day if the diagnostic is made before 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And at the bottom of this slide, you get the simple link to register your product, but don't forget to register the product because it's at a real value, moving from the basic 2 years warranty up to 3 years warranty. On zero density side, I will hand over to Burak on this part.
So within the zero density technical support and services team, we provide 3 different kind of support and services. One is called technical support. This is regular technical support, and it goes through cases, and based on customers ask questions and we provide them answers. There are 2 levels for our technical support. One is called Elite SLA, the other one is called Pro SLA. And the main difference between those 2 is the response time for the customers. The second type of services we provide is called professional services. Some of the typical professional services are like installation, training, and lens calibration. So these are project-based. We engage with the customers on a defined period of time for a defined scope, and we deliver the services. And we put a dot at the end and exit from the customer. The other one, the last one, is premium services, and any type of services which is not well known and defined in professional services is called premium services. Any kind of support or help agreed on can be also delivered to the customers. So in the past, as many of the audience know, our professional services were delivered on site. But with the new, let's say, things in our lives, now we also started delivering our services remotely. And I can say that all our services, including lens calibration, can be delivered remotely. We are already skilled for this, and we have already many customers use the remote services listed here under professional services. There are also benefits of doing the work remotely. One is the cost advantages, of course, because you know, there are always expenses components attached to the services, and we don't really have those expenses anymore, like hotel travel. The other good thing is the flexibility, because when we engage with a customer on site, it has to be within defined period of time because of the visa problems, you know, hotel booking and etc. But we can now use our work, use our planned days more flexible. Also, we provide to our customer how we provide the remote services very detailedly in a document. So there is no unknown when we deliver our remote services. And the good thing is, because the customer is also involved from the customer side, very hands-on, I would say this is also a good training for the customers to do the work together. So it is a priceless opportunity to learn deeply. So these are the points I wanted to discuss.
Thank you, Burak. So finally, before we close the call, we provide in this presentation that will be shared among you 2 links to the Sony professional website where you can search for product operation manual firmware updates. You can download by yourself and install on the camera. And on the right side, you get the link to Zero Density website as well. So now we can move to the final Q&A session, and I will hand over to Birim. Do you get some additional question?
Yes, I did. First question is, if I purchase Zero Density's Reality and the BRC camera, do I get the support separately or from one vendor?
Let's say when you buy the 2 products combined, we can agree to define what we call bespoke maintenance contract that will cover both. So the Sony warranty, basic, or the Zero Density warranty. But this has to be defined when you purchase the solution. But we can combine both, yes.
Okay, another question is there any experience with mounting the BRC camera on kind of a slider or elevated to try and get a crane effect? Like has anybody tried that you know of?
To my knowledge, no. So we did some trial on let's say a tripod and still positioning of the camera. Not as I'm aware of, no.
Okay, and yeah, these are the all questions that I have as of now. Maybe we can give a few more minutes to the attendees to gather the questions, and then we can wrap up.
Yes, of course. At the end of the slides, end of the presentation, all of you will get a mail to thank you for joining this webinar. And you will also receive a survey. So feel free to answer the questions so we can improve in the future. We can add some or create some other webinar on specific topics if you want to know more, but don't forget the survey. Maybe I can hand over to Onur or Burak for a few words on your side.
Sure, maybe I start. So I want to thank again for having us. Again, I mentioned previously, we are very excited to collaborate with Sony. It's a great brand, it's a great company. It's a pleasure to work with you too. And these PTZ cameras are great products. And as far as I can see, we also have a very nice technical integration. So we will be happy to do more in near future, and thank you for having us.
Maybe one of the last questions we could do is try to mount the PTZ on rail or to a dynamic motion tracking system. But that will be a next step. So as I said, version 2.10 has just been released last week, and we are just launching this new version with this camera. Maybe Burak, do you have some words for the audience?
Yeah, it's very exciting to collaborate with you all. And I strongly suggest to use these type of cameras because it makes the lives easier. That's why I would suggest don't stop all the work because of the pandemic. You know, we are here, we work remotely, and there are still tools and services applicable for many of our customers to continue their work. And thank you for the opportunity to involve in this webinar.
Thank you, Burak. Okay. Thank you, Onur. Birim, any?
Yes, I have a question both for Sony and Zero Density. Can we get BRC feed over NDI? Does Reality Engine get NDI?
Sony camera, only the BRC-X1000 can be equipped with a new tech license, but limited to NDI HX. But the BRC-H800, X1000 do not provide NDI streaming capability. Of course, you could use an external converter box or encoder. There are plenty on the market to convert baseband SDI into NDI full or NDI HX stream. I don't know, maybe I will ask Burak if he can answer on the NDI streaming input on their platform.
We have some tests with the NDI plugin, if that is what was asked. Those are not concluded fully, but we saw some success. Probably for if there is such a need, we need to check together.
Okay, thank you. Another one, Birim?
This one is for Onur. An attendee wants us to express what's different with reality keyer compared to other keyers in the market.
Sure. So first thing comes to my mind is first, it's a piece of software. It doesn't require any external hardware. It is an internal keyer piece of software. It is actually a part of Reality Engine. The second one is it is actually not a chroma keyer. It is a image-based keyer, and we are utilizing the 3D mask and the actual photography of the cyclorama that we are going to work with. And we are not just choosing a bandwidth of green and keying according to that, but we are actually work with millions of pixels of green and keying according to that. On top of that, it is also very easy to set up type of keyer. But being an image-based keyer and just a piece of software, I think those are the two main differences. And the first and the third big thing is it works in collaboration with a 3D mask with camera tracking, and we are able to define and decide which volume we want to key and which volume we don't want to key. So let's say that you are going to have a hybrid studio, for example, a green part of the studio, and then a conventional part of the studio. For example, we are able to key the talent inside of the green studio, but when they walk out, we are able to decide not to key them. So the keyer is also working in collaboration with the 3D mask. That is also a major feature.
Really clever.
But by the way, these are the technical specs that I wanted to say in terms of results. Simply, we are providing better results in terms of the detail, the transparent objects, the shadows, the keying quality, the hair details. So in terms of results, the results are there.
So one thing maybe thank you, Ben. One thing we forgot to mention that zero density reality studio is also 4K capable and HDR capable.
Definitely. Thank you for reminding me, Christian. Reality keyer is it supports 4K HDR. So in Reality Engine, we support an end-to-end 4K HDR SDI workflow.
Okay, thank you. This one is for Christian. Do these Sony BRC cameras require a specific firmware for AR/VR production?
Yes, as I mentioned from the beginning, so you need to upgrade your camera to version 2.10, which is a free of charge firmware. So available on our website. So you will get the link with the presentation. So all the package and the procedure how to update your camera from the web menu is explained. So it's really easy to install, but you need of course version 2.10 on each of the BRC-X100, H800 and X1000 camera.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
So we can maybe close the webinar. So thank you for joining this webinar with Zero Density. Hope you are all safe and well, and it will continue so. And please don't hesitate to register to the upcoming webinar. So we'll be do more on HDR, more on IP Live, more on cinema camera as well. So please join the webinars. Thank you, and I'm now closing the call. Thank you, Onur. Thank you, Burak.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you all.
And thank you, Birim, to organizing the question and sharing the question. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.